The midnight praise that shook the prison. This biblical short story is from Acts chapter 16, verses 25 through 34. The cold, damp air of the Philippian dungeon clung to their bruised bodies as Paul and Silas sat in the darkness, their feet clamped in stocks. Blood from their unjust beatings still stained their robes. The other prisoners listened as the two missionaries whispered to each other, not in complaints or plans for escape, but in prayer. Then, at the darkest hour of night, a melody rose from their cell, not a mournful dirge, but a hymn of praise. The other prisoners lifted their heads, straining to hear as the worship grew louder, echoing off the stone walls. Paul's voice, though weary, carried the words of a psalm. Silas joined him, their harmonies cutting through the despair like light through shadows. Suddenly, the ground beneath them trembled. The prison walls shook violently as if gripped by an invisible hand. Stones cracked, doors flew open, and every chain snapped apart. The jailer woke in terror, seeing the doors ajar. Knowing Roman justice demanded his life for escaped prisoners, he drew his sword to fall on it. But Paul shouted into the darkness, "Don't harm yourself. We are all here." Trembling, the jailer rushed in and fell at their feet. "Sirs, what must I do to be saved?" "Believe in the Lord Jesus, and you will be saved, you and your household," Paul replied. Before dawn, the jailer washed their wounds, and his entire family was baptized, rejoicing in newfound faith. Lessons for believers. 1. Praise is a weapon in darkness. When Paul and Silas chose worship over self-pity, God moved in power. Our praise invites God's intervention. 2. Faithfulness in chains leads to freedom for others. Their imprisonment became the jailer's salvation. Our trials often serve a purpose beyond what we see. 3. God turns injustice into gospel opportunity. A beating, a prison, and an earthquake, all used to bring a family to Christ. What prison of circumstance are you facing today? Start singing. Your praise could be the key to someone else's breakthrough. About midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the prisoners were listening to them. Acts 1, chapter 6, verse 25.